put my tunic up and put it in between my legs and wrap it up a little higher so it doesn't get wet when I get in the water because I'm fishing. My brother is there with me, my partner. He's in the boat. He's in the boat over there. See him? Hi, partner. Okay, we're fishing for fish with this net. And my job is to walk along in the water and then throw out the net. See, there's some rocks near the end of the net, and that helps to spread the net out, and then it helps to go down into the sea and land and cover whatever is in the water. And then I have to carefully grab the ends, and when I grab the ends, I pick it up, and inside are fish, some shells, maybe some other seafood. This looks like a good haul. This is the last bit for us. Then we're going to go to the shore. Because I'm tired. I'm really tired. It's been a long day. Smell like fish. I always smell like fish. But that's how it is. So I drag the net and I drag the boat and head to the shore, and I notice there's somebody there. And he's kind of staring at me. Oh, that's the new rabbi. His name is Jesus. He is really getting popular around here. His brother, his cousin, though, John the Baptist, it's rumored he's gotten taken prisoner by Herod in the south. But Jesus, he's been in our area now for a while. And he's been teaching and healing people. And the things that he's been saying are just shocking. He's really getting our attention because he's like talking to each and every one of us. He's talking about how the last will become the greatest, or the first. The least will become the greatest. And those who are lost, he says, they'll be found. Plus, he's doing all this healing, and lots of people are following him. And now he's over there, and he's still looking at us. Well, maybe if I just pay attention to my net, he kind of won't bother us. But follow you. He says I'm to follow him and fish for people? What does that mean? But I look at him, and it's like staring into me. He knows exactly who I am. His eyes have this wisdom and this sadness, but a touch of hopefulness that shows he knows so much. I look over at my brother, and he's already out of the boat. He's following, so I guess it's my turn to follow too. I'm tempted to look back, but I don't know. Jesus has something new in store for me. A new identity, a new vocation, something new. So what about you? The scripture tells us that this call is not just for the disciples, but it is our calling as well. What does it mean for us to drop our nets and follow? Does it mean that we're to leave everything behind and everybody's supposed to become a pastor? I don't think so. But what does this text say for us? What it says is that we each have a new identity. We each have a new vocation. Our identity tells us who we really are. And our vocation is who God has created us to be. You know, with children, we usually ask, who do you want to be when you grow up? And they'll answer, a teacher, a firefighter, a lawyer, maybe an Indian chief. as if who do you want to be is going to define who you are. That's probably fine if you're a brain surgeon. If you're a brain surgeon, then it's fine to say, I am a brain surgeon. But if you sell cars, because the stereotype is out there, that's probably not a good thing to be. And then if you don't have a job, then you're not actually being anything. And so most people will probably assume that you're a bum. So who did you want to be when you were a child? Do you remember? My son Stephen, he wanted to be a bus driver. He loved roads, knowing where to go, sitting behind the bus driver when he was in kindergarten, telling them exactly where to go and pick up children. He cried in the first grade when they moved him several seats back because he couldn't see. But who did God call you to be? What did you want to be when you were a child? In the spring of 1996, after hearing God's call for me to enter the ministry, I was trying to decide which seminary I should attend. There was one in Trinity in Columbus, Ohio, seemed perfect. The environment was warm and inviting. They sang beautiful music, and the sanctuary was light and open and gorgeous, but it was many, many hours away from my family, especially my grandparents, who I was helping to take care of. Now, Lutheran School of Theology in Chicago, it was very academic, a lot closer to my family, and so I would still be able to care for my grandparents. What should I do? Well, one professor told me, perhaps God is giving you a choice and will make whichever one you choose work out well. Many times, we feel like there's just one choice for us, when instead, God gives us a multitude of choices for us to choose from. One doesn't need to become a pastor to follow Jesus. One needs to be a Christian. A Christian. That is what God is calling you to be. Barbara Brown Taylor says in her book, Preaching Call, she kept asking God, what was she supposed to do? And then she heard in her own voice inside of her head, anything you want. Do whatever you want as long as you remember who you are and whose you are. You are a beloved child of God. You are God's. William Willimon says it this way. He says the question of our vocation, the question of our identity, is already settled in the waters of our baptism. What we do, who we are, in the waters of our baptism have been defined. We are a beloved child of God. We belong to God. We are Christians. Be a Christian. Be a beloved child of God. And then for your vocation, do whatever you want. Do what gives you joy. Because as long as you love and serve Jesus, those possibilities are endless. Thanks be to God. Amen.